Another thing that's very important is this arts advocacy. SoundTree is a really important source for this. I know Tom Rudolph has books on grant fundraising and things like that. SoundTree is always helping. Your reps will help you with arts advocacy. And I'm also someone that you can turn to. I was really excited, we always Google our names and stuff, and I found a middle school used me as a proof source to gain or to continue their current funding level. And what they focused in on was some of my core philosophy. You can see it at the bottom and at the right hand of your screen. Chad Criswell basically quoted me as saying that Knight's approach focuses more on a modern philosophy that builds creativity, personal branding, performance opportunities, and 21st century skills in a ways that remind an observer more of a technical classroom than traditional musical education. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times in career and technical classes that they just teach software skills, okay? I teach software skills, I teach historical skills, I also teach promotion skills. And on the right-hand side, it says that my perspective on music education, it goes on to say that it's not based on traditional Western European style of music education, where large groups of individuals work together in perfect synchronization, emphasizing the art over the individual. What I do is I break my kids into small groups, and I teach the kids right on that there's something beautiful about the industrial age where you have a bunch of people working to create these incredible pieces, like an orchestra playing together. But in the current job market, a lot of these kids are going to have to brand themselves. They will get hired in small work groups, and then they will disband. And it sounds a lot like kind of like a rock and roll band. So I've kind of taken that approach. Now, bread and butter issues. ROP. I love ROP. They fund 5 sections of my program, which equates to 1 full-time teacher. Without ROP, it would just be me instead of me and another teacher. ROP stands for Regional Occupational Training Program, and there is an ROP in every state. If you're not familiar with ROPs, they are funded by a thing called Perkins CTE money. It used to be called Voc Ed. So images of Voc Ed are the old auto shop, but nowadays CTE is becoming a really hot issue. With the new Common Core standards, they are finding that the average student does not read well enough. They want students to be able to read technical manuals, technical journals, the same type of stuff that you would find in a music technology program or a video program. So here are some of the priorities of ROP. And I'm going to use comparison on both of these. On the top column, it says academic and CTE skills. I touched on this briefly. Common Core standards, remember it, remember it, remember it. In the next 3 years, it will probably be implemented in every single state across the country. California, my state, adopted it in July, and they basically are saying that they will align curriculum so that the standards are all changing with this national program. And CTE is really a large component of that. Again, teaching career and technical skills through academics, teaching, reading and things like that through music classes. Now, relevant job skills. ROP has to have, they are mandated to have an advisory board in each one of the ROPs. And we have industry professionals that come and they talk to us about what we're doing. Is our curriculum relevant to the needs in the workplace? I'm fortunate being in Southern California that we can draw on television studios as well as recording industry and things like that. Some of the areas it might be a little bit more of a stretch, but they do have advisory boards that you can participate in. Now, professional certification, that's a really big topic for them. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, I list Apple's Logic Studio and Final Cut Pro. We are an Apple authorized training center. That means that all of my kids that take my music tech class, I am able to certify them if they pass the test in Logic Studio. For Mike Simmons, who is my video director, he is authorized to train kids in Final Cut Studio. So that's a huge draw. I'm excited about that. And if you're interested in Apple professional certification, you can go to the Apple website, and they'll have all kinds of information that will tell you how to get the process started. what happens is you have to basically show Apple that you have the correct equipment, and then you purchase the Logic or the Final Cut training manuals, and then you once you've got enough equipment, you've agreed to that, they have a series of interviews with you, and then you also have to have teachers that are certified trainers. To become a certified trainer is a little, it's a lot of work. You basically first have to take the end user. Once you take the end user exam, you take another exam called Train the Trainer. That's usually up in Cupertino. A guy named Robert Brock trains you. He's an outstanding trainer. And then once you pass Train the Trainer, you are certified to train. But that's just in Logic 1. There's also a Train the Trainer or a program for Logic 2 that you have to take the end user exam. Same holds true for Final Cut. The next part is job shadowing and internships. You're going to be working with local business, and they're very interested in that. I have a partner that's called Pacific Coast Entertainment. Every single one of my shows, Pacific Coast Entertainment is quite involved in these shows. And the students get real-world experience, and many of my students are hired by Pacific Coast Entertainment, who is doing these shows. I probably could not do my program with the level of professionalism that we have without Pacific Coast Entertainment. It would be crazy. So I strongly recommend partnering, if you are interested in the popular music program, that you partner with an audio firm that can help you with shows. Then the other part, and the last part, is college and middle school articulation. We currently, our music technology class articulates with Golden West College, which is our junior college, and they receive credit, not credit, but they can not take Digital Media 100 if they're going for a music tech pathway. Middle school articulation is now more of a dream of ROPs. It's not really being implemented the way they envision. Eventually they look at career counseling going all the way down to the middle schools. But that's still a pretty new issue. So that's ROP. And what's cool about ROP is, again, they fund your class, and they take that, they will hire you not directly. They will make a contract with your school district, and you get paid just like a regular section. You are paid with all your benefits and retirement, but they're actually handling behind the scenes the funding of your class. So if you can make contact with your local ROP, then you can talk to your school board and administrators and say, listen, we can offer this class to kids, and it's not going to cost you guys anything. The other thing that they do is they give you a yearly budget, just like a school would give, and California are about $650 for a regular class per year, and I believe the $900 for the video program. And when you have that, you can use that for gear. So over the last 7 years, I've been able to equip my lab with a lot of ROP funds. But the really fun thing is ROP will, if they believe in your program and you really show how you're impacting kids with technology and career skills, many of the schools will find them purchasing computers for them. My program started off modestly, where I raised every dime for my program. Then once RFP got involved, they gave me a lab of 10, or they supplemented 10 computers, and I was able to, during that presentation, help another music tech teacher get 10 computers. Once you establish, then you address about grants and things like that, and they've allowed me to grow quite a bit. So speaking of money, and this is a little overwhelming, but you need to know that sometimes funds are out there. I recently secured a $350,000 equipment fund to merge my music production and my video production, and we created this television studio, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Now, I remember I mentioned at the beginning that my program consists of funding from both the high school as well as Academy and ROP. And if you look on this screen, the very top it says Guitar Huntington Beach High School. I offer 2 sections in guitar. They are open to every single student on the campus. There's no fees involved, anything like that. They just sign up. They don't have to bring guitars because we provide all of that for them. Then you'll notice down below, you'll see there's 4 specialized classes. 2 of them are not written, but they are in the process, and 2 of them are currently on the books. The Intro to Music and Media is a course that we are writing currently with ROP, and that is going to serve as a prereq to get into our academy. Currently, our freshmen and sophomores take the next class to the right, which is songwriting and recording. In that particular class, we expose kids currently through GarageBand, and when I get the whole pathway built, I'm going to take GarageBand down to the prereq and insert Logic in its place. So by next year, songwriting will transition from GarageBand to Logic Pro. The other thing, the class next to it, music technology, currently that's where we introduce beginning Logic. We're going to add advanced Logic the following year. And currently we are, for our curriculum, we are using Alan Parsons. And remember that it's the best DVD I've ever seen on music technology. It's Alan Parsons, The Art and Science of Sound. I'll say that again, Alan Parsons, The Art and Science of Sound. I went and saw Alan Parsons speak with several of our music technology teachers at the Grammy Museum, and wow, that's all I can say. It's finally music technology curriculum in a video format. I also use Dennis Mauricio's curriculum for the music tech class, which is excellent in the printed format. And finally, this is another course that's being developed, is the music media and industry class. So the whole concept behind this is the students first learn about the background, the history, the art part, okay? They learn the aesthetics. The following year with songwriting, they actually learn how to write songs, and they gain some real solid recording skills. Music technology takes on more of the electronic music approach, where we study Moog and some of the pioneers like that, as well as Tom Dowd of the language of music. And then finally, once you've learned how to play, you understand all the background, what do you do with it? Music, media, and industry will take that home. I'll gladly share participants my course outlines for songwriting and recording, as well as music technology. And if you are part of, you want to email me, these course descriptions, both intro and industry when they're available. Now, the fun part, our facilities. At the HPHS complex, I pitched a lot of different people to make this happen, because we were talking about a lot of money, and there was no way that one group could fund this project on this scale. So what I did is I approached the Academy Foundation. They contributed some of the funds for this. Coastline ROP contributed funds. The high school contributed funds. Parents donated money for my guitar lab, which you'll see in a minute. We had some corporate donations and some grants. So all of these together created this amazing music and media complex.